Question 6. So for part 1 we use a bit of factor theorem and remainder theorem. So we know when we substitute 3 into the function we get 0. So substituting 3 in, we can generate, when we've tidied it up, this linear equation involving a and b. That's having substituted 3 in and making it 0. We're also told that when f of x is divided by x minus 1, there is a remainder of 4. Now be careful, that means when we substitute plus 1 into the function, it equals 4. So substituting plus 1 into the function equaling 4 gives us this, which tidies up to this. So we've got a simultaneous equation to solve. I've just done 1 take away 2, which gives me 2a equaling 2. In other words, a is 1. Substituting into either, that gives us b equaling 6. Now for part 2 we've got to solve the equation. So we're going to have to be able to fully factorize this to start with. How do we do this? We need to break this cubic down into a quadratic and a single bracket, a single linear bracket. So we are going to choose to divide our function. Remember, of course, we now know that a is 1 and b is 6. So I'm going to divide my function by a factor. Okay, now I know that 3 is one of the solutions. So if we look right to the very final answer, that's going to be one of our solutions. So therefore, when I divide by x minus 3, there will be no remainder. So I do a long algebraic division, and which I'll talk you through in a second, but that ends up telling us that the cubic divided by x minus 3 equals this quadratic. So in other words, this times this equals this, and that's what I've written down here. Right, so going back to how, just to remind you how to do the dividing by an algebraic division. So you kick off by saying to yourself, what times x gives us x cubed? What times x gives us x cubed? So that's this x squared, so that comes first. So then multiply this by what we're dividing by. So x squared times x is x cubed, x squared times minus 3 is minus 3x squared. Now we take this away from this. This clearly goes. Minus 4x squared minus 3x squared is minus 4x squared, add 1x squared, add 3x squared gives us minus x squared. That's really the end of our first loop. We then draw down our plus x and start again. We say to ourselves, x times what gives us this minus x squared? That's this minus x. Minus x times x is obviously our minus x squared. And minus x times minus 3 is plus 3x. And we take this away from this. This goes, x minus 3x is minus 2x. That's the end of the second lap. We then draw down our plus 6 and start again. X times what gives us our minus 2x? That's our minus 2. Minus 2 times x is minus 2x. Minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6. And then we draw a side of relief because we end up with that equaling nu, which we knew it had to do. So that takes us to this. So to further break this down, we now factorize this quadratic here. What two magic numbers multiply to make minus 2, but add to make minus 1? That's 1 and minus 2. So we end up with this. So our three final solutions are plus 3, which we knew, minus 1, because that's what makes this bracket naught, and plus 2, because that's what makes that bracket naught.